As evidenced by the vast number of hunting games on the market, there is a solid core of players who enjoy tracking and shooting wild creatures. But apparently the animals are fed up with all that, because with Cabela's Dangerous Hunts 2011, we are the hunted. Now, it's not like there are deer dressed in camouflage stalking you in the woods or anything, but this game is more about defending yourself against incoming animal attacks rather than hunting your prey. This is the first hunting game I've owned, so I'm not in that core group of hunting game fans. But I would guess that anyone looking for an in-depth hunting simulation that involves intensive tracking of animals, stealth, decoys, bait, or whatever else goes into hunting, fancy hats, I don't know. But I think if that's what you're looking for, you won't find it here. If, on the other hand, you're interested in a survival horror-style game with a different setting than you might expect for that genre, I think Dangerous Hunts 2011 is worth a look. The main mode is the story mode, and it starts out with a prologue and then gives you a little backstory involving father issues and sibling rivalry.
Not bad. Of course, you'll never be the marksman your brother here is. I suppose that can't be helped. You favor your mother's side of the family. She wasn't cut out for this country. Oh, I expect she's more comfortable down south with her shopping malls and tofu salads.
Oh yeah, and your mom just doesn't understand. Pfft, wimp. Anyway, after this and the prerequisite evocation of what it means to be a man, you get a little bit of instruction on the controls and you're off on an adventure that starts in North America, but will soon enough take you to Africa, where you meet back up with your father to investigate some crazy animals who are up to no good and killing humans. As you make your way through the levels, you'll pick up clues that fill in details about exactly what's going on with the fauna of Africa. It's not the most intricate or surprising story ever told, but it works. But of more interest is the tense gameplay. First, the settings are great. Graphically, it looks pretty last-gen and GameCube-ish, but in terms of art style, it's really nice. From the snowy forests of North America to the grasslands of Africa, the designs are detailed, immersive, sometimes ominous, and seem true to the actual locales you're hunting in. But while I do like the design, if you're hoping to be able to run through those vast grasslands, you'll be disappointed. The levels are very linear, and in general you can't move far off the path that you're given. Also, at least with this Wii version, there can be some frame rate issues, especially with lots of action on screen. It can get fairly choppy on occasion. That said, except for one particularly action-packed level that was kind of diminished a bit by the choppiness, I never found the frame rate to really worsen the gameplay much. The levels aren't huge, but will feel large because of the deliberate pace you need to go at if you want to stay alive for long. If you try to run through the levels as fast as possible, you'll probably meet with a quick death. A better approach is to go slow, keeping a sharp eye and ear out for whatever is around you. This might sound like the makings for a slow, plodding game, but quite the opposite. It really enhances the tension as you're constantly on the lookout for danger ahead. The audio is generally excellent and is used quite well to make you feel surrounded by danger. From howling wolves in the distance to roaring lions to things rustling in the grass and on, the levels really feel alive. And the music is used sparingly to great effect. The designers really knew when to bring it in and when to cut it out, leaving you alone with nothing but the sounds of nature. All in all, an excellent job on the sound design. The game's controls are simple enough: aim and turn with the Wii Remote, move with the stick on the nunchuck, and you're given the option for basic Wii Remote and nunchuck control, Wii Zapper, or the Top Shot Elite, which I showed in my previous video. Since then, having used it more, I'm going to say that in my opinion, the Top Shot Elite is the way to go if you want to play this game. It's a well-balanced gun, and while no design is perfect, after a little practice you won't have much trouble getting used to finding the buttons on the remote. It's also nice that the stock is removable, and I in fact found it most comfortable just taking it off. There's also the red lens scope that, in combination with your hunter sense, allows you to spot dangers or good items like health packs and ammo that might not be visible easily to the naked eye. Hunter Sense is activated with the A button, and it makes the screen look like this. I'll try to simulate what it looks like through the scope, but in real life it looks a lot better than this. But you can see that now all these items are more easily visible. I like this feature of the game in combination with the Top Shot Elite. And for the most part, you won't have to spend a lot of time staring through the red filter. You can just use it to scan ahead, then move normally, scan some more, and so on. Just make sure to use the included calibration tool once you're standing or sitting where you want, and have the gun set up how you like. If you give it a little time and effort, I think the Top Shot Elite is a nice and comfortable gun peripheral that serves to help gameplay, rather than just be a nice-looking piece of plastic. Besides the story mode, there's also the multiplayer-capable shooting galleries. This is quite an extensive mode. There's many levels available. They're basically on-rails shooting stages, and you're trying to take out as many animals as possible for points, or just to stay alive as long as possible. There are also power-ups available for shooting certain animals that can give you things like double points for a short period of time or extra health. While these modes are fun to play alone, especially if you always wanted to play Duck Hunt with a shotgun, I think it would be a lot more fun playing against someone else. You can play 2-player in the classic mode for points or survival mode for survival time, or up to 4 players in hot seat mode, in which you basically take turns on a stage using the same controller. All these modes are fun, although there's one weird thing in the survival mode, where when you get to the end of a level it just instantly jumps back to the beginning and you repeat the same sequence. It works, but it's a little jarring.
He's done this before.
While it might not be a hunting simulation, Cabela's Dangerous Hunts 2011 is a fun, hunting-themed survival horror game. It's not up there with Resident Evil 4 or anything, but there are some definitely awesome moments of tension and excitement. I do wish that perhaps the game had gotten a little darker and weirder, and maybe gorier too. For all the animals you'll kill, there's not a drop of blood to be found. When an animal dies, it just dissolves into the air. I think some blood and guts might be appropriate for the survival horror vibe they were going for. Nonetheless, the story mode is good, with a nice graphical design and excellent audio, and the shooting galleries are great arcade fun. You can get it bundled with a nice gun attachment. Overall, it's a lot of fun. This is a good, solid title, and might be worth some investigation if you're looking for a different take on both the hunting and survival horror genres.
Rack 'em!
So who's the hunted now, old man? So what if Mom likes tofu? Ooh, trippy.